Bodvar. It's gonna be the matchup, and here we are already in it, game number 1.
Coming in on Crystal Temple, this was a map that we don't see a lot of play on. Don't see a lot of it in 2s, don't see a lot of it in 1s, but we're getting a lot of it in both game modes this weekend, and it was Boomie that was playing specifically a lot on this map.
It's really interesting to me because I know in the past, Boomie's opinion on Crystal Temple was like, we should never go here, but every 2s game that he played in struck here first.
Yeah, straight up.
And now here we are in singles, and Java and Boomie are starting here in game number 1. The thing that's odd about Crystal Temple compared to other stages is what Boomie's playing around right now, and that's that platform height. So many more characters' signatures are able to play around that platform height, not to mention that a lot of weapons that have side airs that reach very far away, like being able to do drop downs from there. We were just saw them, you know, doing circles around it.
What are we doing? This is a tournament match that looks like a button check.
It's more than a button check.
Bro, it's been a minute!
Okay, it's a minute, but it's not like they're sitting there jumping and practice. They're trying to find the proper approach because they both know, again,
dodge
it's elimination side of things.
Dodge circles.
That's what we're watching. They're literally drawing circles around each other with those falling side airs. There's a down air into side air combos into Java. Oh, I was waiting for the down stick, but no, that's so much smarter, right? It's very tempting as Reno to just, you know, let it ride with the down stick because you could charge it, you get that chainsaw effect, which is so rare on blasters. But no, that side air perfectly spaces, takes the first stock against Java in game 1.
Boomie's one of the players who's, I would say, one of the best at blasters side airs to KOs. He's so good at just knocking someone away and then continuing to chase, keep that presence there. Even his orb is looking so clean right now.
Picking up some speed
Wait,
here.
Java dodged into that orb ground pounds. He doesn't get hit by it, but the edge guard afterwards was beautiful. Now Boomie, like that, in under 2 minutes is 3-1. I know we were talking about that first minute. It was kind of like, what's going on here? But Boomie, he's picked it up.
He picked it up immediately, and we were talking earlier about, you know, this pick is an interesting one. Of course, it has the blasters, and we were seeing great blasters from Boomie today, but the orb was kind of lacking. Immediately on that second stock, Boomie really picked up the pace, completely dodging to get away from that ground pound from Java. That would have certainly led to a KO. That side air is going to take off the left side rather than the right side bottom, but here we have Boomie coming in fresh on a stock, going to be looking for a weapon here. Java not in the worst position, but certainly not in a good position and not in the power position here. Boomie just going to kind of sit there for a minute, retreating back.
I love that dodge.
Now we know why he wants to go to this map. He just retreats to those soft platforms and camps them.
Yeah, he's doing really well with it too. And I feel like Reno's signatures, both on orb and blasters, we haven't seen too much of the neutral stick there, but we have seen in previous sets that Boomie likes to use it either slide charge or on stage to get those reversals. The orb neutral stick so good, even though it hits above in that angle that so many legends cover. When it catches you, it spikes you off the side of the stage. D-light side air after the dodge, and we saw him try to slide charge the neutral stick. Didn't quite slide down as far as he wanted to, but he was trying to use that platform for there. That side air, so good with that. Look at that sideline stare off the edge. Oh, Java, he's done. No, recovery hits, but it was close. There.
Yo, the end sig. To finish it off, Boomie is going to take game number 1.
Okay.
And, I mean,
GG.
it
was like a slight GG. It was like a presses the button slowly. It's like,
that was a toxic GG right there. Maybe Boomie will show us what he's listening to. Very curious on that. Maybe Noel. Well, none of them can hear us. I don't know. I'm calling for different people to tell us that. I'm just gonna think it real hard.
Okay.
And I think Noel will maybe get it for me there. That would be sick. You're seeing Java right there. Java's on the right side of the screen. Of course, Boomie is on the left side of the screen.
Yeah, taking a moment to think about what happened in that game, getting hydrated, and getting ready to go into the next game, because when it comes to these two players, legend swaps are not going to be the name of the game. It's going to be the play style and also the map that we're on. And we saw there, as much as we've talked about how Crystal Temple may not have been Boomie's favorite pick in the past, with the Reno, he's got so much play that's based around either retreating or bringing Java to those platforms so that he can continue those combos, and as we saw at the very end, get an incredible range on the Reno neutral stick on blasters and take Java off the top.
It's so interesting to see both of these players because, I mean, as I said earlier, they're the same region. They're both North Americans. We've seen them compete against each other in all these online events, but this might be the best argument for that kind of offline experience. Boomie has been to the most offline events out of almost anyone else in the Midseason Invitational, and it's showing right now. He's playing on a whole different level against Java, someone who in North America is a higher PR, who has been doing better in 1v1s.
Higher PR, but as you were talking about, right, you led that entire statement with the experience at LAN events. Java's is quite low in comparison, right? And we're seeing that here, them going head-to-head against the first time in an in-person event. and Boomie really had the upper hand in that first game.
One thing that's really interesting about literally what we're doing right now, other than talking, is we haven't gone into the next game yet.
No.
We typically see a lot of players, especially Boomie, immediately roll into that next game before
we have no time for replays.
Yeah, we don't have time for replays. We don't have time for stats. We don't even have time to talk.
He literally will break the game in online matches because the spectator can't keep up. But also, we saw right after that, Java was Zen mode. He had his eyes closed. He was thinking, replaying basically the whole match in his head to decide how to do
it. It does take two
this.
players to lock in to go to the straight next game, right? So if Boomie's just spamming that button and Java's over there, hands off the keyboard, it ain't going to start until he's ready for it. It looks like he's ready for it. He gets back, sits down, and we go to Enigma. Yeah, the stage striking is going to be...
These are just the worst stages, dude. Oh my gosh, just the most outlier stages in the game.
But it's one of those things where when stage striking is such a huge part of a matchup between two players, the stages that are going to go away right at the beginning are like Mammoth, Apocalypse, Brawlhalla. You're going to get rid of anything that's considerable standard, and you're going to find yourself in these situations where you're going to Crystal Temple Enigma, getting hit by a weapon throw, and barely making it back to the other side. Boomie and Java, what does that do?
There's a lot of logic behind this, right? Boomie was the one who got to ban out the maps he saw on Crystal Temple. The soft platforms helped him out a lot, so why not get more soft platforms as well as have more wall? We saw Java destroy people in offstage with that hammer, so Boomie's like, let me get something safer, like Enigma.
Here comes the orb, neutral light stacked on top of Java. You see him over on the right side. Java is just a little bit of a lead, and he immediately punishes that signature.
I know I didn't say it out my head out loud, but in my head I was like, no chance he down 6 here against Java with hammer off the side of the stage. But he goes for it, and if you don't slide charge it, you're just traveling still on the stage there, so you're not really covering beneath the stage so much with that signature. So Java was able to punish it with a recovery. Boomie now at a damage deficit, and Java going for that weapon throw pickup. Sair gets him off the left side of the stage and gets the knockout. Java so good at doing that, whereas a lot of players break neutral with weapon throws. Java enables combos with them.
I mean, that's one thing that's really functional in this offline event, as well as like everyone's reaction time kind of goes up a little bit because you're right there hearing them do their clicky clackies and whatnot. So Java baits. He'll do those weapon tosses down a lot to bait a reaction out of his opponent, and then he'll go in.
Reminds me of controller players that are like when they know that they got their opponent in peripheral vision, they go like, they just like jerk forward, but they're not doing anything because they're hoping they're going to get a reaction out of you, even though nothing's happening on screen. Not saying that's what happened there quite, but yeah, Java just with that enhanced reaction time there, and we saw.
It still hits.
He gets away with that.
Honestly, it felt like such a hesitant side sig, unarmed, that both Boomie and I were like, okay, he's not going to go over that, but he gets it, and he gets the side sig as well, where he gets at the edge of the stage. So even though Java wasn't totally on the stage, he still gets hit in the move, and Boomie's now down a full stock here in game number 2.
Even had the Java shot before it, right, where he did the weapon toss down light, pick up into the dare. He's doing such a good job here in game number 2. Looks like the soft platform's not really a factor against Boomie in this one.
Side sig. Then that down stick comes out afterwards, trying to read that dodge, diagonal down in, and that's the Russian up the top, down air, scoops him off, and he takes that win with a 2-stock. I mean, that's a 2-stock exchange for a 2-stock, Duke. And I mean, from Crystal Temple to Small Enigma, Sparky, where the heck are we going next? What's the next?
We're not going to Enigma.
Stage?
No shot. We're going to Enigma.
Okay,
no way is Boomie going to let that.
What would you hate to see the most?
Probably a Great Hall.
Okay, so we're just picking maps that Sparky doesn't like.
For several reasons. One, personally, hate that map. Two, if you're Boomie, I'm not going to go to a map that has platforms in a similar shape to Enigma after how we saw Java move around those platforms so well, pick up the 2-stock, and play so well. We're going back to Crystal Temple.
That's right. And I was going to say, we have to be careful about how long we're going to talk about those maps, because this time this was a Boomie get back into the game situation, right? Getting right into Crystal Temple in game 3. Set evened up after Java 2-stocked in that last game, and his hammer looked fantastic. And even without the hammer, he was doing weapon throw, unarmed neutral light, pick up hammer, Sair, getting so much damage off of his weapon throw playstyle with those combos, and now Boomie's at a deficit again.
Yeah, but this is looking way different than the last time the two of them ran into Crystal Temple, right? Like Sparky said, it's been a minute and they didn't do anything. This time, we're almost a minute in, and both of them are getting very close to that KO %.
Now, one thing we didn't get a chance to mention yet was the history between these two players in terms of all-time career matches. No stock is going to go there. 2 weapon spawns on the right side. Java grabs the first one. Java grabs the second one, but their lifetime career sets heavily in favor of Boomie. 7-2. in matches in favor of Boomie. That's a 78% win rate, and Java is hoping to at least make that a little bit smaller, play that tug-of-war game, get a little bit more rope on his side in those 23-8 games. Oh my goodness. Hopefully turning this one into a 23-11.
Oh, but there's those stairs that you were talking about, Sparky. Can he get that edge guard? There goes the downer and the dodge in. And no, Java, okay, he's like oddly low at jumps. But he gets that exhaustive recovery coming through, picks up the new weapon, and he gets a nair, and that extra credit starts to add up.
He's trying to find a couple more hits. Might want a hammer, but he won't get the opportunity as Boomie, of course, he's going to hit a downlight dash jump recovery.
His choice of weapons coming out. You're seeing him on the left side juggling those weapons, going to delay that weapon spawn again, retreating to those soft platforms. Those are his place of safety here. Hammer comes in. Nice 2, 3, 4 hits coming out from Boomie. Got Java into the yellow right away. 5 hit, 6 hit. One more is going to be in the orange. Yes, sir. There it is. Got the recovery as well.
Oh, he didn't expect Java to just hold straight right there, though. He went so far forward with that side he thought Java was going to fade away. Java gets the recovery. D-Light ground pound. Lands on the platform. I thought he was going to go for it again, but no. Boomie manages to escape further damage, but Java takes the lead again.
Picks up his weapon right there. Wow, Duke tied up here.
I mean, he's got that, or he had the weapon advantage. Boomie, though, now with the blasters, Java on the offstage, the dare hits the weapon toss, and Boomie is going to take that stock advantage weapon denial opportunity. He saw the spawn, but it was right on top of Java.
Oh. Weapon throw comes forward. Java misses the D-Light, only gets a recovery. Hammer picked up. Scoop would have taken him off the top for sure. Weapon spawn, that is a rough one to pick up. But Boomie,
look how far away he picked that one up. He knew like the max range for that one because he didn't want to get hit by Java. The hit is going to come shortly after that. That's going to be the KO. We are dead even. About 2 minutes and 50 seconds into this game. Certainly much quicker than the previous game we saw on Crystal Temple. That's extended itself throughout the entire game.
I know how wild that D-Light looked, where he just shot in the wrong direction, but I guarantee it, he was trying to get that micro spacing before pivoting it. He put the input into the other side, and Java was able to get that sider. Because if Boomie shot the other way, that downlight hit, that was going to a sider and an even greater lead. But Boomie now on the orb, exchanging blows with Java, and through 2 nairs in a row, looking for a falling down air here? No! Look at that. Boomie's so smart with the orb, getting that sider afterwards and bringing Java to orange.
He's got his pick of weapons. He's going to go over to the sword this time. The damage is so even, and again, they're back to that intense neutral where they're going to sit on their sides and wait for that opener, because this is, I mean, again, elimination side of things.
Hunting for those recoveries. He's still going for him. Who were we watching that was doing those recoveries earlier? That was Lores, right, on Koji. Just hunting for those recoveries to build up that damage. Nice juggling coming out from Boomie. He's keeping it going. Those blasters neutral is very safe move, very strong move. Good damage, good hitbox, good number of active frames while also still being able to be safe.
The coolest thing about that nair that hit was that Boomie did a dash forward downlight from the platform, and then the second he started falling after the move ended, he just pivoted to the nair, catching Java off guard, but it's so close now. Weapon throw coming down, and Java didn't get the pickup on that one, and Boomie, no, he doesn't.
Whoa!
What?
That's the second time he's done that.
That was enough.
That's straight up the second time he's done that.
That is also Crystal Temple platforms working so well for him, right? It's not even one of those things where it even hits you if you're slightly jumping above the platform. That is how great that stage is for that Reno coverage. Wow, what a close game 3.
It's insane, that final blast working out for Boomie. Java thought he was safe. He thought that either he could get away with taking that hit or that he just wouldn't get hit by it, but just narrowly goes into it. And again, back to Zen mode. It worked last time, right? He took this whole breather thinking about that last match, and then he put himself in, took game number 2. He's hoping that this is going to work because, unfortunately for him, he's got to win the next 2 if he wants to continue on in the bracket.
And I'm thinking this is not the first big sweat moment coming out from Java. Earlier in the elimination bracket, round 1 coming out from pools, he took it to a game 5 situation against Kosalix. I bet you he was in a similar position with similar pressures, feeling the same things that he's feeling right now. Then he went 3-1 over Radish. That was a little bit of a confidence booster, but here he is now down 2-1 in this set. He has to win 2 games in a row to go out over Boomie. Otherwise, he's gonna be done. He's not gonna make it into elimination round 4. This will be the end of not only his 1v1 journey, but all of his competition at the mid-season championship.
It's worth mentioning. Can you hear us? It's worth mentioning because you're talking about his bracket run. He started the double elimination side of things on the elimination side. He did not do that well in his pools. He went 1 and 2 in his pools and has since been making that lower bracket run. So he's just had kind of the most intense 1v1s that he could have.
Yeah, going to Game 5 against Kostlix, taking out Radish in Game 4, really having to run the gauntlet there to be able to make it this far against Boomie, and now he's one game away from potentially being out of it, but it's not over yet, and the winner of this will be fighting against the winner of Snowy Machete, which we'll be watching shortly afterwards, right? So, and imagine, I know we're looking for hope for Java, but there's a chance that Boomie and Snowy, doubles partners, are going to have to go against each other in a elimination match, right? I think. Is that for 7th or is that for 9th? How early is that going into mid-season championship?
I think that's for 7th. They're trying to get into
Okay,
it.
okay.
Yes.
Or they're in the 9th right now.
Going into this next game. New map, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
Woo! This is exciting. Mammoth Fortress.
It actually is.
Yeah.
Between these two players.
It was so
I
sarcastic.
was only being like a little bit facetious.
That felt like a real. Anyway, well, here we are going into Game 4. And yes, between these two players, it's pretty exciting to see them on a stage that we are so familiar with a lot of other players that play. Recovery from Java coming through there puts Boomie into orange. Man, there are these moments where Boomie's really, I think, playing around these weapon throw startups that Java likes to go for, both the sword and the hammer, where he's standing there waiting to do that quick spot dodge reaction. And now Java is like, okay, I'll play with the weapon in my hand. Lots of stairs coming out there. I think about 4 of them in a row.
I mean, with the way that Boomie's positioning, it's kind of like trimming down what Java's going to do. When Boomie sits on the other side, Java generally approaches with a dash forward weapon toss. And that gives Boomie a lot of time to just go, okay, I know what you're going to do. I know how to react to it. But a downlight side air puts Boomie off stage. Another hit from Java could be enough, but he doesn't hit the gravity against the side light.
The down's so smart.
Oh,
He
no.
reads Java dipping down after the wall touch, and that hits, almost knocking him out. D-Lane comes through, the side air does not connect. The second downer does.
Oh!
That is the coolest thing I've ever seen
Yep.
Reno do.
That is a wonderful option.
So like a few balance patches ago, down air got it's an angle of knockback change to make following up after it pretty. Oh, so much better. But
Oh my god. Okay,
Oh.
he's like, you know what? I won 2 matches with it. Let me just play a match with it. Those N6 are hitting Java.
okay,
No
Java says
weapon.
enough is enough of that haymaker. But man, you're absolutely right. So many of those coming back to back, and the diagonal dodge coverage with the down air. And what was so scary about it is that Boomie was facing the other way. He pivoted that neutral sig, and the reach that he gets on that move is so unusual when it comes to blaster signature kits. Boomie using it so well, and Java now in orange here on the second stock.
I think Boomie's playing a lot of a mental game here. Like, you're seeing it just in his movement alone. You're seeing it obviously with those several neutral signatures that he did in a row, one right after the other. His pacing is sort of really jagged in this game so far. I think it's getting, or at least it got in Java's head initially. He's starting to pull it back more in his favor. He's still a little bit behind, but the damage is being dealt after that side air, after that recovery, that sidelight side air from the middle of the stage. Not going to be enough to KO.
And I like what you said about him, the playstyle being a little bit jagged, Sparky, because something that I know I've heard Boomie say before is that a big goal of his is to make sure that his opponent is as uncomfortable as possible playing against him. And I think that this game is the greatest example of Boomie starting to succeed with that. But Java bringing it back with that side air, he could take the stock lead, but the gravity cancel sidelight does not go high enough.
wow.
And Boomie tries to get the reversal on the down air once again, and he gets it the second time.
You're
He
going to go
really
in?
wanted that.
You're going to go in for that again a second time, Duke?
I don't even understand. Like, the first one, he was running out of options. He was literally sweat beating as he went back to the stage, and then he went for it again, kind of just really showing how to do it. But Boomie, he's going to dissuade Java. Java just really wants to get this stock from Boomie.
I love how successful the rising down airs have been from recovering. Java has been above him at the beginning of every single one of those blaster stairs off the side of the stage, but Boomie has been really in his head about where Java likes to go when he's punishing people when recovering and connecting with those. Boomie immediately pick up pivots, neutral lights on those blasters, and gets the down air. No gravity cancel down light afterwards, and Java, without knowing he didn't have a dodge, gets some good damage in.
Damage pace is still definitely in the favor of Boomie here. Java started off this stock in a much better position than he is now. Believe one more hit's going to turn him red. Side air. Oh, he went for the down air. Thought Java was going to be more below him. That side air is going to send him off screen. Going to be a down air. He's just doing those really for safety. Picks up the recovery. A Boomie classic there as his opponent returns back to the stage. He thinks recovering that high is the safest option. Boomie's ready there with a blaster's recovery. Going to put out some damage. Going to be able to chase after him with the generous in-air movement that you have with that move. And of course, a classic blaster's KO move. So you know picking up someone high with that, I mean, even if they're in the orange, you might grab a KO. Definitely if they're in the red, that is a guaranteed confirm for Boomie. Unfortunately, that will end Java's run.
LAN experience pays off. Boomie able to take it out over Java and continue his run. And it's honestly, it kind of comes down to what Taza was talking about. Boomie making Java feel uncomfortable. This wasn't like a classic NA match or anything. It was just discomfort.
Yeah, that third game was like, I know the stocks are close, but man, do I feel like Boomie's got all the momentum and then some. Like, some of those reads that he was going for are like, you wouldn't do that against any other player except for Java in this situation. Like, hitting those 2 N6 in a row. I mean, that's like reminiscent of when we saw like multiple blaster sidelines hit in a row, but it's a signature. My goodness, it was such a dominant performance.
That's going to be Boomie adding yet another set to the dominating record that he has against Java. It previously was 7-2 at a 78% win rate. Now it's going to be 8-2 at a Duke.
Yes, percent win rate.
It's an 80% win rate. You can add the 2, and this one's easy because it's like a total of 10. So it's just like 8 out of 10 is 80%.
Oh. Is that how that works?
I was trying to give you the softball, but that's okay. I'm sure you have another extremely enlightening thought that you were building in your brain. Hit us with it.